Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Myself Sajjan Pradhan, Assistant Professor, Gargi Memorial Institute of Technology. In the today's class, we will solve and try an example that is based on load flow analysis with the help of Newton-Raphson method. In this example, a 3-bus system is given. Each of the three lines has a series impedance of 0.02 plus j 0.08 pu and a total shunt admittance of j 0.02 pu, and these are the data that is given in tabular forms of the particular 3-bus system. Here it is also mentioned that controllable reactive power source is available at bus number 3 with constraint, that is limit of the QG3 is given, like it varies from 0 to 1.5 pu. Find the load flow solution using Newton-Raphson method. Use tolerance of 0.01 for power mismatch. Now, the first thing, in this problem, it is given that the bus number 1 is slack bus number 2 is PQ bus, and bus number 3 is PV bus. So, on the slack bus, voltage, and that means active and reactive part of the voltage is mentioned, that is voltage and the angle of the voltage delta is given. For PQ bus, P and Q is given, and for PV bus only the magnitude of the voltage is given. Here angle of the voltage is not given. Since a controllable reactive power source is available at bus number 3, that's why we have to also calculate the QG. That's why this is question mark. Now, first of all, as per the Newton-Raphson load flow analysis algorithm, first of all we have to find the Y bus matrix and find the power at all buses, net power at all buses. Since it is also given that a total shunt admittance of j 0.02 pu is given. So as we know how the Y bus or admittance matrix is formed, we have already discussed in the previous lecture. For the shunt admittance, we have to assume a pi model of the network. This is what? This is y t by 2, because in the pi network model, the total shunt admittance is divided in two parts, that is in the left side and right side. So this will be yt by 2 and yt by 2. This is the portion where the generally students do the mistakes. This is yt by 2, not yt. So the series impedance is, since it's given at this one, so series admittance will be what? Y series will be 1 by 0.02 plus j 0.08, and it will be 2.941 minus j 11.764 pu. If we convert this one in polar form, then it will be 12.13 angle minus 75.96 degree. These calculations you have to calculate with the help of calculators, otherwise it is very difficult to calculate all the steps with manually. Use the scientific calculator for calculating this one. 12.13 angle minus 75.96 degree. Now, so the each of diagonal L terms will be what? Each of diagonal term will be, we know that means minus of series impedance of that line. Since all the lines have same impedance, so this will be minus of 2.941 plus J 11.764 pu. Now the self term or the diagonal elements diagonal elements of Y bus matrix will be what? Of admittance of that line plus this one. So this will be what? That is connected to all the system. So it will be one line for this path plus this line, one admittance for this path. So 2 into 2.941 minus J 11.764. This is for only series line, plus 2 into shunt admittance. Here 2 into, that is 1 for this path, this shunt admittance, and 1 for this shunt admittance. That's why 2. But since this is yt by 2, because in the pi network model the shunt admittance is divided in two parts, that means this is yt by 2. That means where yt is what? It is given that total shunt admittance is j 0.02. That means this will be j 0.02 divided by 2. So this will be 2 into 2.941 minus j 11.764 plus this will be j 0.01. That means this will be after calculating it will be 5.882 minus j 23.508, this one. And in the polar form it will be 24.23 angle minus 75.95 degree. 24.23 angle minus 75.95 degree. This is in the polar form. So the Y bus matrix of the system will be so Y bus matrix will be diagonal elements are 24.23 angle minus 75.95 degree, and the off diagonal elements are 12.13 angle 104.04 degree. So this will be also 12.13 angle 104.04 degree. Why this is 104.04 degree? Because we have calculated this thing, series admittance was 12.13 angle minus 75.96 degree, but off diagonal elements are negative of the series elements. That means negative of this one. If you convert this thing in polar form, you will get the angle of 104.04 degree. This is the complete Y bus matrix of the given system. Now the main steps of the Newton-Raphson method. First of all, since it is given that there are only one PQ bus and one PV bus in the system, so we have to assume delta for both PQ and PV bus, and V for only PQ bus. So PQ bus is bus number 2, that's why just assume we have assumed V2, and since this is the assumed value, that's why the iteration number is 0. V2 0 will be we have assumed this thing PU, and since we have assumed this one, that means also we have assumed in the indirect method, in indirect way, angle is 0 degree. In bus number 3, we have to assume only angle, that's why this is delta 3 0, we have assumed 0 degree. So for PQ bus we have assumed magnitude part as well as angle part, because we have assumed directly, that's why in complex number 1 plus j0, in complex number we know the magnitude portion as well as the angle portion, or you can say that 1 angle 0 degree. Now with the help of static load flow equations, we have to calculate P2, P3 and Q2. That means power for all PQ and PV buses and the reactive power for PV bus, for PQ bus. Here, with the help of these assumed values, we will calculate the powers, active and reactive powers, and that we will compare with the specified values. So power, that is the real power, we have to calculate the real power for both Q bus and PV bus, and because in PV and PQ both the P is mentioned or specified. For PQ bus we have to calculate P and Q, and for PV bus we have to calculate only P. According to the SLFE equation, we know that Pi is mod of Vi summation of k equals to 1 to n mod of Vk angle mod of Yk Yik angle into cos of theta cos of theta I k in plus delta k minus delta I, and in similar way this will be, and Qi will be negative of mod of Vi summation of k equals to 1 to n mod of Vk angle Yik into sin theta Ik plus delta k minus delta I. This is for Q. So now here we know I varies from 2 to number of bus. That means here number of bus is 3, total 3 number of buses in the system. So we have to calculate for P2 and P3. So we have to put I as a 2 from 2 to 3. So this will be, for if I is 2, then P2 will be what? Mod of V2 into mod of, this is the and summation is also from k equals to 1 to 3. So V2 into, for k equals to 1, this will be mod of V1 angle Y21, I is 2 and k is 1, into cos of theta 2 1 plus delta 1 minus delta 2 plus, for k equals to 2, and this is V2, and this, so this will be mod of V2 square, because I is already 2, for k equals to 2 this will be V2 square into Y22 into cos theta 22, and this will be cancelled out because delta k, that is delta 2 minus delta 2, that means this will be cancelled out, plus for k equals to 3 this will be mod of V2 into mod of V3 into Y23 into cos of theta 23 plus delta 3 minus delta 2. This is the equation for P2. Now in the similar way equation of P3 will be mod of, for P3 we have to put I equals to 3. So this will be mod of V3 into V1 into Y31 cos of into, this is into Y31 cos of theta 31 plus delta 1 minus delta 3 plus mod of V3 into mod of V2 into Y32 cos of theta 32 plus delta 2 minus delta 3 plus mod of V3 square into cos of theta 33. This will be equation for P3. In the similar way, you have to calculate Q2. Since in this equation for P2, P3 and Q2, we all either knows the things and or we have assumed that one. So with the help of these known things, we know V1, V2 and V3 and all the angles of that one. So with the help of these two or these three equations, we will calculate P2, P3 and Q2 for the zeroth iteration. That's why this will be zeroth position. So with the help of these values, use the calculator to calculate these things. After calculating, you will get P20 will be equals to minus 0.23 pu. P30 you will get 0.12 pu and Q20 will be minus of 0.96 pu. So now we have calculated P2, P3 and Q2 with the help of these equations. Now the power mismatch, we have to calculate the power mismatch or delta. So delta P20, that means for in the zeroth iteration will be what? P2 specified, P2 specified minus P20. Now what will be the specified value for P2, P3 and Q3 Q2? In the problems, this was the values of the specified things. So first of all, you have to calculate the specified. So we know that the specified value of for the any bus or net power, or you can say that the net power will be what? P generated minus P load of that bus, or you can say that this is capital G, Pg minus PL. This is the generated power and this is the load power, second term is. So the specified power for the bus number 2, that means P2 specified will be what? The generated power at bus number 2 and minus load power, load demand at the bus number 2. So what is the generated power and load demand at that bus number 2? See, bus number 2, load demand is 0, whereas Pg is 0.5. So the P2 specified power will be 0.5 minus 0.0, that means this is 0.5 pu, whereas P3 specified will be what? In the similar way, P3 specified will be what? Generated minus load demand, that means generated power is at bus number 3 is 0.0 minus load demand at the bus number 3, that is 1.5 minus 1.5. So this will be minus 1.5 pu. In the similar way, Q specified will be Q specified at bus number 2 will be what? Generated power at bus number, generated reactive power at bus number 2, at bus number 2, that means 1.0 minus load demand, reactive load demand, that is 0.0. So this will be 1.0 pu. In this way, we have to calculate the first specified power of all the buses, at all buses. So with the help of these equations, or this, in this way, what will be delta P20, delta P2 specified, that means 0.5 minus P20. We have calculated this thing is minus 0.23, that means it will be 0.5 minus, and that means 0.73 pu. In this way, delta P3, we have to calculate delta P30, that means which is equals to specified values at bus number 3 was minus 1.5 minus the calculated approximate values for P3. 0 was 0.12, so this will be 0.12. So the net value will be minus 1.62 pu. And in similar way, delta Q20 will be 1, that is specified, minus calculated, that was calculated was minus 0.96. So this will be 1.96 pu. So we have calculated the power mismatch. So first of all, we have to check is it the power mismatch is within the limit or not. The limit that was given in the problem was 0.01, tolerance limit was 0.01. So we have seen here all the power mismatch is greater than the tolerance limit or higher than the tolerance limit. So we have to further calculate the Jacobian and the difference. Now with the help of these values we have to form the whole Jacobian matrix. As we know that we have so the unknowns are here, the delta for both P and Q, and voltage for only P system, that is the PQ system. So the matrix, this will be the power mismatch. That means this will be delta P2, delta P3 and delta Q2 on the left hand side. On the right hand side, the Jacobian matrix. Let us assume that this will be the Jacobian matrix into that means the error that will be delta 2, delta 3 and delta mod V2. This will be the error. So the size of this one is 3 cross 1. This will be also 3 cross 1. So the size of the Jacobian will be 3 cross 3. Now how the Jacobian matrix will be formed? In the previous classes where we have solved the nonlinear equation in the form of this matrix form. See that problem, that equation. This portion we have discussed in the basics of non-Newton Raphson method, from where this Jacobian matrix can be formed. This is the nothing but the partial differentiation with respect of the function with respect to the corresponding these values. So on the left, on this side, the Jacobian matrix will be del of P2. This is the equation of that means the part equation of the nonlinear, that means that this is the nonlinear equation. So partial differentiation of del P2 with respect to del delta 2. On the second term, this will be what? Del P2 with respect to del 3. And the third term will be del P2 with respect to del V2, mod of V2. In this way we have to form the Jacobian matrix. In the second term, this will be del P3 by del delta 2, del P3 by del delta 3, del P3 by with respect partial differentiation with respect to del mod of V2. And the third term will be del Q2 with respect to del delta 2, del Q2 with respect to del delta 3, and this will be del Q2 with respect to del mod V2. In this way, this is the Jacobian matrix of the equation, for the equation. Now how these terms will be calculated? We know that del P2 by del delta 2 is what? We have to differentiate the P2 with respect to delta 2. We know that the equation for the P2 that was already earlier derived, P2 was this equation. So we have to differentiate this equation with respect to delta 2, and other terms has been, we have to consider other terms as a constant part, as we know in the partial differentiation. So we have to first of all differentiate the whole equation with respect to delta 2. After differentiating this term with respect to delta 2, then we will put all the assumed and the given data, and then we have to calculate this Jacobian matrix, this one element of the Jacobian matrix. In the similar way, same, this equation will be different. We have to differentiate this equation with respect to delta 3. Again, for the third term, we have to differentiate this equation with respect to V2. And in the similar way, with the help of calculators or MATLAB programming for the computers, with the computers, you can calculate the complete Jacobian matrix by differentiating with respect to all these elements. Now, it is not possible to derive all the portion in this lecture. So after calculating, you will get this Jacobian matrix J by putting all the known and assumed values. You will get this term is 24.47. This will be minus 12.23, and this will be 5.64. Second, this term will be minus 12.23, 24.95, and this will be minus 3.05, and this will be minus 6.11, 3.05, and this will be 22.54. This is the Jacobian matrix for zeroth iteration only. So in this way, this is for zeroth iteration. For the first iteration, this is the zeroth iteration obviously. In the first iteration, again you have to calculate the Jacobian matrix in the similar way, second iteration, and so on. So with the help of this J0, we will calculate the first iterate modified, that is the corrected values of all these things, that is delta 2, and this is assumed as this is the iteration number 1, because this is the corrected value of that with after calculating the Jacobian matrix. So this will be delta 2 1, delta 3 1, and delta mod V2 1 will be what? This will be this inverse of this into this. That means this one inverse into, we have calculated these things. So for the zeroth iteration, this will be 0 0 0. Again this one, actually this is not the first iteration error, this is the error of zeroth iteration. This is the error for zeroth iteration. after the summation, after adding this error part to the assumed values, and then we will get the corrected values of the particular unknown parameters. So this will be, as we know, this is this term is delta p20 was 0.73, second term was minus 1.62, and third term delta q2, that means this one was 1.96. then put this matrix here and take the inverse. After taking inverse and multiplying with this vector or this matrix, you will get the final values, like will be minus 0.0230 minus 0.0654, and this will be 0.0890. So now we have calculated the delta 20 and all these things. Now obviously, so delta 21 will be delta 20 plus some error of delta 20, which will be equals to, that was 0 degree plus minus of 0.0230. that means this is equals to minus 0.0230. Similarly, delta 31 will be delta 30 plus summation delta 30, that is equals to 0 plus this thing, because in the initial condition we have assumed all these are 0 degree angle. So this will be minus 0.0654, and del mod of V21 will be mod V2 0 plus delta mod V2 0, that means this will be mod of V2 0, we have assumed this is as 1, so this will be 1 plus 0.0890, that means this is equals to 1.0890 pu. So the updated value of these unknowns are now we have calculated. So these values are considered as a base value for the next iteration, and all these steps up to this one, this is the for iteration number 1. So now in the problem, since it is given that the Q limit is given for the PV bus, that is the bus number 3. So with the help of this Q31, we have to calculate Q31 to check the limit, that is the is the Q31 is within the limit or not. So with the help of Q31 in the equation, with the SLF equation, put the Q31 these values, then you will get this Q31 will be equals to 0.4677. pu. So qg3 after the iteration 1 will be what? Q31 plus Q load demand or QL3, that is equals to 0.4677 plus 0.6, because in the problem it is given that Q demand at the bus number 3 is 0.6. So QG3 by calculating this Q31, it is nothing but the net reactive power at bus number 3 after iteration 1. So the only generated power will be this plus the load demand. That's why this will be 1.0677. But in the problems it is given that the Q limit should be within 0 to 1.5 pu, and that is satisfied. So we did not have to assume this again, this PV bus as a PQ bus. This is for only checking purpose, is the limit is violated or not. If this will be, if the value of this QG3 is will be greater than that the prescribed limit, then we have to calculate again, fix that QG3 and then calculate the assume this PV bus as a PQ bus. In this way we will calculate these unknown parameters. We have to again perform this whole complete step again for the iteration number 2. It is very difficult to again perform the whole things for all the iterations. By performing that means the solution using the MATLAB, it is found that the system is converges within the 3 iterations, and after the 3 iteration you will get V2 will be equals to 1.081 angle minus 0.024 radian. V3 you will get the values of 1.04 angle minus 0.0655 radian, and QZ3 will be equals to 0.45. And the net transmission loss will be 0.031 pu, and this is the solution. Normally in the exam the Newton-Raphson, the problems based on Newton-Raphson is almost impossible to solve in the particular prescribed 3 hours duration of the exam. So in the exam it is not given. In the exam it may be the question may be like right hand algorithm based on Newton-Raphson method, or in the short question what will be the size of Jacobian matrix, and the difference between what is the difference between Newton-Raphson and Gauss-Seidel method. In this way the question will be in the exam. We have discussed this problem because if you want to solve this Newton-Raphson methods or apply this Newton-Raphson method with the help of MATLAB, then you have to brief idea, you have to know how this process, these steps are to be performed. Thank you for today's. In the next class we will discuss the decoupled method of the load flow analysis. Thank you all. Be safe. Thank you all.